Oh, my voice is so raspy because I just woke up. Hold on. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about how I found out I was pregnant. I feel like that's like the second most asked question. The first is probably, I don't know, actually. But anyways, I went to the doctor's yesterday. I'm officially 9 months, 36 weeks, and the baby is in position, so head first. And I'm like, I haven't even posted anything like pregnancy related, you know? So yeah, I thought this was a great starting point just to talk about how I found out I was pregnant. Another reason why I really want to talk about this is because I feel like my symptoms weren't as common, you know? But yeah, I'll just get started. So I'll start from November. I got pregnant in March, but in November I really thought I was pregnant. I was 7 days late on my period. I wasn't feeling good. I had like the typical symptoms, you know, like I was nauseous, I was tired. I remember we ended up flying to California for the weekend. I just wasn't feeling it. I was convinced that I was pregnant. Maybe, you know, like that's just me convincing myself. But like I said, I was 7 days late. So yeah. Fast forward, when I got back to the city, I ended up taking a pregnancy test and it ended up coming back negative. And for some reason I was really sad about it, and I told my boyfriend, like, why am I so sad about it? I shouldn't be this sad, you know. It's not like we were planning for a baby or anything like that, but I was just like, maybe we should figure this out and like be smarter about it, basically. So that was that in November, you know, that happened. And fast forward to March, when I ended up getting pregnant. Basically, I got pregnant in March. I found out March 31st. That's something you don't realize, is you get pregnant like immediately. Basically, it's crazy. You can find out in the next like 2 weeks if you're pregnant. And that's, I found out when I was only 5 weeks pregnant, and or I think I was like 5 pushing 6. And if you didn't know, they count the 4 weeks before you're even pregnant. So like from your last period, basically. So from your last period to the day you conceive is the 4 weeks that's included in your pregnancy. That's why pregnancy is 10 months instead of 9. I ended up finding out I was pregnant because my cousin actually told me to take a pregnancy test. So it was around, I was 12 days late, but mind you, I didn't even care, because I'm like, listen, I'm tired of these pregnancy scares. I'm not about to keep, you know, like thinking I'm pregnant because my period is late. I don't have a consistent like 28-day cycle, so I'm just like, whatever. I was so over, you know, like thinking I was pregnant. And usually I would really just take a pregnancy test and call it a day, but I'm like, I'm also not about to keep spending money on this. So I kind of just kept pushing it off. Actually, when I was 5 days late, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should take a pregnancy test, just to take a pregnancy test. So I took one, and it ended up being defected. I think what happened was I peed on the stick. When the pregnancy test that I bought, you had to drip your pee in there. So I did it wrong, basically, and I was just like so careless. I was like, you know what? Usually when you take a pregnancy test, 2 line comes up if it's a yes. 1 line is the control line. The other line is the yes line that you're pregnant. So even if you're not pregnant, the control line should always show up. That day, it didn't show up. The pregnancy line didn't either. It was just like a complete blank screen. So I was just like, oh well. I was like, it's a sign. Like, it's a sign that I am not pregnant. And I mean, at the time, like I said, I was careless, so I just threw it away and I kept it moving. I was like, that that was a sign that I'm not pregnant. I'm gonna take it for what it is. And I just like went about my day. So a few days later, I was at work and my cousin noticed that like I was just really tired. I was actually having a slight fever. You know, like my eyes were burning, my nose was hurting. I was like really warm. I kept sleeping. I was extremely tired, but I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I was sick. And mind you, it was March, so it was still really cold outside. I was just like, whatever. It's like no big, you know, I was just like, I'm just probably sick. My back was hurting really bad, my lower back. And I was just like, okay. My cousin ended up getting on her period. And she was like, you know, at this point we had been working together for like a few months. She knows my cycle, you know, like we weren't synced or anything. She just knows my cycle. And she was just like, you're really late. Like, you should probably take a pregnancy test. And so I just told her like, okay, you know, I'll take it. I mean, at that point I was already 12 days late, but I've always gotten a negative pregnancy test. So I was just like I said, tired of this. I'm just like, there's no point in me taking a pregnancy test. I always get on my period literally the day after I take a test. So I'm like waiting it out and waiting it out. I ended up taking the pregnancy test. I already had one from November, basically, from, you know, like I always buy a few. So I already had some. And that day, that night, I got home from work. I went into the bathroom and I was so like careless. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm 12 days late, but I swear I wouldn't have guessed that I was pregnant. I even told my boyfriend like in mid-conversation basically that I was pregnant. I mean that, not that I was pregnant, that I was 12 days late. And he was just like, I think he asked if he should be worried about it or something. And I was just like, no, you know, my cycle is never on time. Or I said something like that. I was like, you know, if I'm pregnant, you'll know, basically. We don't do that pregnancy scare stuff where we hype each other up. So he was just like really calm about it. And I ended up going into the bathroom. And for once, I took my camera. I don't even know why. Maybe something in me did know. But I took my camera into the bathroom and I just like propped it up. And yeah, I filmed my reaction and I was just shocked. Like I just couldn't believe it. Like when I saw the 2 lines, when I peed, you know, like when I dripped my pee into it, it immediately came out positive. And I was just like, what? And I remember searching it up and they say when you, when it comes out that fast, especially if you're that early on, you don't have enough, I forgot what that thing was in your body. It's some chemical in your body that, you know, you get an increase of when you're pregnant. And you either have a lot early on if you're having twins or if your body is just like that. So when it came out immediately, I was just like, wait, what? And mind you, I was in a long distance relationship, so I knew exactly when I got pregnant, basically, you know. So I'm like, I can't be that far along. Am I having twins? But I'm not having twins. And yeah, that's how I found out I was pregnant. I'll include the clip of my reaction. What the fuck? Oh my God. Yeah, I was very shocked. Till this day, I'm still shocked. You know, I'm like 36 weeks in, but sometimes I still look at my stomach like, how am I pregnant? Like, is this really real? And I don't know if it's like a new mom thing where like you just can't believe it, but I can't believe it. So anyways, I'm officially on maternity leave. My voice is like really cracking, and it's because I've been sleeping terribly. The heat in this apartment has been on blast, so my throat has been so dry and I'm just like so uncomfortable. But I just need to get this video out to you guys. Just need to be more active, you know. One reason why I want to do this is because literally when I got pregnant, I was on YouTube, like just YouTubing any and everything pregnancy, and there's actually not a lot, sorry for the noise, there's actually not a lot of videos out there like on pregnancy that like I could relate to, you know. It's just like older women, or I don't know, I don't want to offend anyone, but yeah, I'm like, I need to put more videos out there. There's not a lot of videos in regards to like motherhood and stuff, and this is my first pregnancy. You know, my mom isn't, I don't get a lot of advice from her, so it's just nice to be able to maybe help someone, or you know, just entertain someone. I know when you first find out you're pregnant, you want to read everything. Like I have this app that I still read till this day. I just want to know what's going on, you know, or I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time.